Guyana has 85% of its forest intact. The forests that we have here stretch into the heart of the Amazon. We have a very low population. There are very few places in the world where you can go and find tracts of wilderness, tropical rainforest as lush and untouched as this. My name is Ashley Holland, and I work as a wildlife and wilderness guide, specializing in running and conducting river and camping expeditions into the remoter parts of Guyana. I very much custom build my trips depending on my guests' interests and time frame as well. Sometimes I have guests that are just generalists and they will say, oh, we want to come and just experience the rainforest. Somebody might contact me and say, we have a particular interest, we want to see jaguars, for example, or we may want to see harpy eagles, or we want to fish for a certain type of fish. And so I will custom build that trip based on their interest. A lot of people want to come and see the iconic species, right? So harpy eagle, the world's most powerful eagle, a spectacular bird. I once had a filmmaker who wanted to come and film harpy eagle in the nest with a chick. For me, that was a great experience because I love that kind of challenge. When somebody says we want to film something very specific, I never guarantee anything, and I'm always very realistic. And I will always tell my guests up front what the chances are. And in this case, I had a location where I know that there's a harpy eagle nesting, and I knew it was nesting at that particular time. It was easy for me to say, yes, come, and I can take you, and you can film the harpy eagle. Of course, another species that many people want to see is jaguars. And I'll be honest with you, jaguars are a little trickier than harpy eagles. Jaguars are a lot more elusive. Even when you know that they're in a given area, there's never a guarantee that you're going to see them. But I have had people that have come specifically to see jaguars. We go to the right places. We have to work very hard at it. We go out on the river and we drift and we search. And if you do it enough, sooner or later you will be lucky. It's like playing a game of dice. You keep rolling the dice, rolling, and eventually you will get a double six. Especially the long river trips, people have a concept of camping as being miserable and rough and wet, and it certainly can be if you're not prepared. I've always believed, especially if you're going on a long trip, that you need some of the basic comforts to make the trip enjoyable. That means you have to sleep well, you have to eat well, and when you're around camp, you have to be comfortable. And so we provide hammocks, proper netting so people aren't bitten by insects, and we make the camps as comfortable as possible. We have stuff like camp chairs and tables. And so we try to make it as comfortable for people as possible because we realize that this is a very different setting from what most people are used to. The idea is that they don't just come and look for the animals, they have to enjoy the whole experience. It's not just about finding the animals, it's about experiencing the forest and the rivers and the wilderness and the wildlife, having a good time and being reasonably comfortable. All of my guides are local indigenous people, and they make perfect guides because there's no one who knows the forest better than they do. And the fact that they can speak English, they're very good at interpreting the forest and explaining to my guests about the forest and the animals and the fishing. I think a lot of my guests appreciate that what I'm trying to show them is something more. I want them to think about the wilderness in a different way. And for me, I don't have clients, I have guests. They're my friends when they come to the rainforest. And when they go, I want them to have memories of good time and have memories of friends here, because that's how I view my guests. They are friends, and typically most of them do become lifelong friends. Wilderness places all around the world are becoming more and more threatened. Part of that for me, bringing guests here or showing guests what we have here, is trying to get them to experience some last truly wild place.